Academy Bruins, Jay Jones.
Good to be with you from Rector Field, Joe B. Hatcher Stadium, here on the campus of Pulaski Academy. It's hard to believe, but it's the start of a new football season, and these Bruins are trying to defend a 27-game winning streak. And they may have a tough chore tonight. Jay Jones along with Brooks Beasley. Brooksy, we watched this team from Oklahoma, Sand Springs page. I'll tell you what, if filling out the uniform looks good, well, they look pretty good.
They're absolutely some decent specimens out there for football players. I tell you, I think, a couple of years ago, a team from Memphis came in here, and we thought the same thing. So maybe the tide won't turn the other way this time, and it'll stay like it did for the Memphis team, where PA defeated them. And but they look like stellar football players.
Brought a lot of them. Of course, Sand Springs is just to the west of Tulsa, so it's not that far. And they brought some fans along with them too across the way, and kind of expected they would. You were talking to me earlier about this team from Sand Springs, and we're going to be calling them by their, of course, their name is the Sandites.
Mm-hmm.
Sand Springs Sandites. But you were talking earlier about how they finished, or how they ranked in the state of Oklahoma.
Testing.
I think I read where they were ranked 15th in Oklahoma, and that's I don't know how many teams comprise all the high school teams in Oklahoma, but that's pretty good ranking, in my opinion.
Yep, no doubt about it. And to look at warm-ups, Bruins look like they've got their work cut out for them. Of course, we know the Bruins have won 27 in a row, 2 state championships in a row, and the folks down here are expecting a third state championship. So we're waiting to see exactly
Off on button, and she said, flip the other.
How this. We're trying to listen to Rick DeVee down the field right now. He's trying to get his microphone set. Okay. He's having a hard time doing that. But this looks to be a tough matchup to be a starting game. Of course, talking about tough matchups to start a season off. Of course, the last 2 seasons, the Bruins went down to Dallas to take on Highland Park.
Right.
Now, the last loss the Bruins have had was at Dallas Highland Park back in 2014. Last year they avenged that, and one of the biggest wins in program history as they ended Dallas Highland Park's 17-year winning streak at home.
Yeah, they had, 77 straight wins?
Yep, at home. And so this year, of course, Coach Kevin Kelly and his staff, they never back down from a challenge. Playing tonight against this Oklahoma team that looks pretty good. And we'll find out here in a few minutes just exactly how good they match up. But next week, going to Salt Lake City to take on East High School in Salt Lake City. After that, the Bruins will travel to McCracken County, Kentucky, which, if you don't know where that is, that's around Paducah. And they'll take on McCracken County before finally getting back home on the 23rd to take on J.A. Fair that's actually at J.A. Fair. So our next home game, we won't see the Bruins at home until the 30th against BB. So we need to start this thing off right to keep this 27-game winning streak going, make it 28.
Yeah, I agree with you, Jay. And I think from what I saw in the scrimmage against Bryant last week, if PA comes out prepared like they were for Bryant for this game, I think they can come out with a win.
Well, we got Zach Thomas back in studio working hard. We're going to send it back to him for a break. We come back, we're going to talk a little bit more in depth with these two teams. Believe it or not, it's time for Bruins football. We'll be back with a little bit more talk after this. Listening to Bruin Football 96.5 FM, The Answer.
Use the magic word, promo code Ramsey, and you get the best.
I'm Anthony Lucas for Orthosurgeons. As a former Arkansas Razorback and Dallas Cowboy football player, I know what sports can do to the body, especially as the years pass. Arkansas's premier orthopedic surgery group has a team of orthopedic surgeons, PAs, and certified athletic trainers that can be on your team too, treating all orthopedic and sports injury needs from hand, shoulder, foot and ankle, ACL repair, and arthroscopic to joint replacement surgery. Orthosurgeons, on the web at orthosurgeons.com.
If the dating budget is so large,
I was the starting left tackle for the 2011 PA football team. We put a lot of points on the board that year and dominated every team we played. Even though we were great offensively, we could not have had that kind of season without a great defense. Bill James and the attorneys and staff at the James Law Firm know how important small defense is when the government accuses you of wrongdoing. If you find yourself in need of legal defense, there's only one place to go. That is the James Law Firm with offices in Little Rock, Conway,
Thank you for providing this beautiful evening, for the opportunity of these two great schools to come together as one community. We are grateful to you, O Holy One, for the safe travel of our new friends from Sandy Springs, Oklahoma. We pray that you be with them on their journey home. Know that in our hearts we give thanks to you for all the young players who worked so hard to compete well in tonight's game, and for their coaches who teach and encourage these young men to be more than just skilled players on a football field. But as we thank you for so much about tonight, we pray and ask that you keep each of our student athletes safe and free from injury, and move them to compete with the spirit of sportsmanship and integrity. Dear God, I pray that you would bless each of us in a way that only you can, and that you be present here tonight to fill our hearts of the players, the coaches, and the fans alike with the true meaning of responsibility, respect, and excellence. O Heavenly One, may all that we do here tonight please and honor you. We lift this prayer in your holy name and give you all the praise and the glory. Amen.
Our invocation before the game starts, we were talking about some of the players to watch tonight. Of course, we know a lot of the Bruins, back from last year, they did lose some really valuable seniors off this team. But you look this year, had some holes to fill, but some people stepped up. They're losing, of course, Trey Bruce, who did just about everything for this team. Zach Kelly, of course, Coach Kelly's son at receiver. What a speedster he was. Right. Sure hands. Justin Charette, losing him. Caden Halls, Robert Ader, Corbin Witham. You know, there's a lot of these guys that we watched for many, many years that are not around this year.
No, and it's going to take some. But I think, according to the scrimmage I saw the other night, the holes have not completely been filled, but they filled a lot of them.
Well, you look at the Sandites from Sand Springs, and you've got a big front line up front. There's no doubt. We watched them in warm-ups. Guys like Michael Carper on the offensive line, 5'10", 235. Cameron Lyerly, who's 5'9", 215. Probably their biggest standout is Lincoln Adams on that offensive line. If this guy plays as good as he looks in that uniform, he's going to be knocking some holes in the offensive line. 6'3", 300, a senior. Ooh. And he stands out, too. He really does. The quarterback is going to be Hunter Greathouse, who is a senior, 6'3", 180. They have a speedy receiver, and Mac Thompson. We'll be calling his name out a few times tonight. Running back Peyton Scott, also 5'6", 165. Speaking of running backs, though, a guy for the Bruins that is just as exciting as any running back in the state. And you were talking about him before the game started. We were talking about him, but Jaron Watkins, a senior this year. Some of these guys, it's hard to believe they're seniors after watching them for so many years. 5'7", 165, but that doesn't tell the story.
No, it certainly doesn't. If you want to see a good, exciting player that'll you just keep your eyes on him the whole night, it's Jaron. He's absolutely phenomenal in my opinion. I met him right before the ball game, and as they were coming to the dressing room.
Pretty stout, isn't he?
He is solid as a rock.
That is. Of course, quarterback Lane Hatcher, we watched him last year as a sophomore, as a 10th grader, lead this Bruin team to a state championship over McClellan. And he's back as a junior this year. We expect great things from him. Filling in at receiver, of course, we've got some guys with some good hands and some good speed, and Trey Johnson and Ray Jackson. We got to watch them some last year. R.J. Anderson will be back in the backfield, too. And this defense, we were talking to Coach Wood. I know we've heard him talk about it before. Mm-hmm. His defense, he says, they're not that big.
They're really not. But they play big.
Yeah. Some of the best defenses I've seen over the past decade at Pulaski Academy. Mm-hmm. Maybe we're undersized a little bit, but we're all over the place.
Yeah, absolutely. And they were all over the place scrimmaging Bryant. I was really impressed with Brooks Walton. He's a linebacker. Then there was Isaiah Woods.
Yep.
He really showed, and also Hayden Henry. He had an outstanding game that night.
Hayden Henry's back, and of course his little brother's going to be playing. We got a glance at him last year as a 9th grader. Hudson Henry, who's 6'4", 210, as a sophomore wide receiver. So we'll wait and see how he develops. But it's in those Henry boys' blood. They're ball players.
Yeah, absolutely. I went through all the roster, Jay, from last year, and all the guys have gotten a little bit taller and gained a little bit of weight. So it's
amazing, isn't it?
It is.
Yeah. That's one of the fun parts about this job. You watch these kids come in from the 8th and 9th grade, and before you know it, they're seniors, and they just don't look like the same kids out there.
I know it.
Somebody always steps up to fill in. Captains are on the field. We're about ready for a coin toss. This season's about to start. The Bruins looking to extend their 27-game winning streak. Will it be 28? We'll talk about the beginning of it. Right after this, you're listening to Bruin Football on 96.5 FM, The Answer.
At Kyocera, we see your company differently. We see your documents, how they're accessed, what it takes to keep them secure, and how well your workflow is flowing.
Capital Business Machines delivers Kyocera document solutions to businesses throughout Arkansas. We understand your needs are unique. So are our solutions. Contact us today for a free document assessment at catbiz.com.
I'm Anthony Lucas for Ortho Surgery.
And number 41, Kelvin Jordan. For the Bruins, number 3, Lane Hatcher. Number 5, Hayden Henry. Number 18, Ray Jackson. And number 57, Seth Martin. Sand Springs, you want to toss? They've elected to defer their option. They will be kicking. Ladies and gentlemen,
It is kickoff time at Pulaski Academy. Jay Jones, Brooks Beasley, Chris Amsler working hard over beside us. Miss Vicki joining us in the booth. We'll try to get her on the microphone after a while. I don't think she's really up for it, but she's.
We're going to get it
We're going to try to get Vicki on here anyway.
We're going to get it lined up for commercials, aren't we, Jay?
Here come the Bruins. Dressed in their light blue jerseys, gold helmets, gold pants. Those also off to our left, the beautiful new Judy R. Buck Strength and Conditioning Center, which is completed now. It was under construction the past year, but it's ready. Waiting for Sand Springs to come out. Their colors are black and gold. They're wearing their white uniforms. They're on the road, and now here they go. Big team. I mean, they've got a lot of kids in this program, and they brought them all.
Well, I think they did. I tallied up.
They brought the extra bus.
Yeah, they did. Okay, I checked the roster here, and I counted up 76 players. That's a pretty good traveling squad.
Well, we found out after they met at midfield with a coin toss that Sand Springs won the toss. And it looks like they have deferred to the second half, and the Bruins are going to get the football first. Bruins lined up to our left, west part of the field, facing east. And Sand Springs still in the middle of the field. Now they go to the sideline. I don't think the Bruins appreciate that much. Kind of met the middle of the field and huddled up right where the Bruins were lined up, and I don't think the Bruins really appreciated that. But now they're going to the sideline.
They're trying to flex their muscle.
Is that what it is? You also got to apologize to Rick DeVee. That wasn't him breaking in a minute ago. That was the official.
Oh, okay.
And, you know, far be it from me to get on an official, but they've already messed up.
Yeah, I know you don't like the flags, Jay.
Depends on when they come.
Right.
All right, we're about ready to go. We're about ready to start the season off, 2016. We saw some speed in that defense that time, too, and I think they were expecting that. This time, no backs. On second down and 13, Hatcher, 3 receivers to the right, to the left. He's going to swing it out to his right and short hops at that time to Trey Johnson. So that's going to bring up 3rd and long, 3rd and 13. Not a perfect start for the Bruins.
No, not a very perfect start at all.
So on 3rd and 13 from their own 24, Hatcher alone takes a snap, looks quickly. Fires downfield, has a man open, but overshoots him at the 42-yard line. Now flag comes in on the far side. Time he was looking for Nathan Biagioni, junior wide receiver. Overthrew him, then a flag came out. Looked like Biagioni was by himself. I don't know where the flag came from unless it's a sideline warning.
Yeah.
Sideline.
Yeah.
Half the distance to the goal. Maybe it's a new rule. Maybe there's no warning.
I was fixing to say, usually you get a warning first time.
So that'll back the Bruins up to the 12-yard line. It'll be 4th down and long from their own 12. They have to get out to the 37. Hatcher back to pass. Definitely a passing situation. Bruins helmet comes off. Fires way downfield, has a receiver, and it's going to be caught at the 35, the 30, the 20, the 10, the 5. Touchdown, Trey Johnson. That ball was juggled. Johnson came down with it. Actually had 2 receivers go up for it.
Right.
I thought they were going to knock it away from each other.
I did too.
And on 4th and forever, the Bruins strike first.
Well, now they know they have a, a 4th or whatever and 40.
Well, they got that play in their book, don't they?
Yeah.
4th and about 30. And Hatcher hits Trey Johnson, the junior wide receiver, for a touchdown. Now the Bruins are going to go for 2. Hatcher back in there. Nobody in the backfield with him. 52 seconds it took that one, Brooksy. Hatcher gets a snap, turns around, now fires. It's caught at the 5, trying to get in the end zone, but can't do it. That was Biagioni. He was hit about the 2. Couldn't make it into the end zone, so it's 6-0. We'll keep it right here. Wow. This one looked like the Bruins are in big, big trouble to start the season.
What was that, about
they go long.
40 or 50-yard pass in the air?
In the air, yeah.
Yeah. And about a 30-yard run after that, yeah.
So a big, long touchdown pass play for the Bruins gets them on the board first and quickly here against the Sandites, Sand Springs Page, Oklahoma.
I'm sure that kind of shocked them, Jay.
Yeah.
It got their attention. One thing for sure, Jay, from the sideline, I sat there and I watched our offensive line give Lane excellent protection. He had all day to throw that football.
Yeah, he did. Rick DeVee on the sideline. Now the ball's laying flat, and the Bruins for years have done these onside kicks for most of the game. Hatcher, the quarterback, will be kicking, apparently. You never know in these situations. Here comes the kick. It's a spinner, and it's going to be falling on about the 49-yard line. So the Sandites will have it. Good field position at their own 49. As that time Cody Moats, a senior, fell on it. Now we'll get to see the Bruin defense and this Sandite offense. Led by their quarterback, Hunter Greathouse. He's a big kid, 6'3", 180. Sending a receiver, that's that speedy receiver, Mac Thompson, out wide left. Greathouse has a running back Peyton Scott just off to his left and behind it.
He's a fire plug, too.
Here's a quick pass, caught at the 50, the 45, down to the 44-yard line. Tackle made by Chris Lang. That was Bales on the reception.
He's brought down by number 2, Chris Lang.
He's a senior. Picked up 7 on the play. To the Bruin 44. Need to get to the 41 for a first down.
2nd and 3.
Greathouse with Scott behind him. This time Greathouse shouts out the instructions, backs up. Shotgun's actually a pistol formation now. One man in motion on second down. Hands it off to his running back, Hole there. Down to the 40, the 35, down to the 30-yard line. This guy's a powerful runner. I watched a little bit of tape of him, Peyton Scott. He just lowers his head and uses that body, and he moves the chains down to the 30-yard line.
Well, he had a hole big enough a tractor-trailer rig could go on through there.
They got a big offensive line. Greathouse quickly. With Scott behind him, now he looks to the sideline. On 1st and 10 from the Bruin 30. Talked about this offensive line before the game started, and they've got a hefty one.
Mm-hmm.
Greathouse gives it to Scott. This time the hole is plugged, and he gets a yard down to about the 29-yard line. 1 yard, that'll make it second down and 9. Brooks Walton was the first one to reach him. They've got 2 receivers split to the right, 1 to the left. See if they decide to pass on 2nd and 9. Greathouse tries to get the Bruins to jump. Now he settles down, looks to the sideline, gets the play called in from his head coach, Dustin Kennard.
I can see Ken the Bruiser.
Yeah, it could be.
Just at Cousins.
Greathouse to pass this time. He throws over the middle. Has a man wide open at the 5. Ooh. Touchdown. Touchdown, Sandites. That one looked easy. He was open. It's Casey Bales on the reception.
Well, they got to have a little bit better coverage than that.
Bales is a senior. Yeah, he was open. He flashed through the middle. And you can see him open at about the 10, caught it at the 5, and nobody there to touch him.
Bales prepares for the point after kick.
Bales also their kicker. He'll try the extra point. Snap is good. The kick is up, and the kick is good.
Good.
And so, Bruins trail it. Bruins scored. Could not convert the 2-point conversion. Sand Springs scores. They kick it through. Our score after just about 5 minutes of play here in the first quarter. Pulaski Academy down 7-6 to Sand Springs. Keep it right here for a moment.
You got to remember, Jay, we got 12-minute quarters in high school, not 15.
Yep. Well, 2 quick scores.
Yeah, I don't.
And we'll have to see how this defense adjusts. Both defenses adjust, actually. We got Mr. Amsler in here now. Mr. Amsler's always trying out something new. He stays on top of technology.
We'd be up a creek without him.
You're not kidding.
Because I'm tech challenged, that's for sure.
Well, Sand Springs will kick it away from our right to our left. Leading this one 7-6 here early. Both teams scored on their initial possession.
I'm sure Coach Woods was not happy about that easy
Probably
touchdown.
not. We'll probably hear him upstairs in a little bit. Cade Lumen to kick it off, and another pooch kick. Fair catch called for on the far side, this time at the 31-yard line. Opening kick was caught at the 27. So the Bruins will take over at their own 31. Apparently neither team going to be kicking the ball deep tonight from what we've seen. We know Pulaski Academy rarely does. Sand Springs going with that little pooch kick. So first down, Bruins at their own 31. See what the offense can do this time. Lane Hatcher leads them to the line of scrimmage. Got Watkins off to his left. 2 receivers to the left and 2 to the right. Hands it off to Watkins. He goes up the middle. He's at the look out, 35, 40, 45. Keeps his balance. 45, 40. Finally knocked out of bounds at the 39-yard line. Well, when he gets loose, you never know.
I'm telling you, he is an exciting young man to watch.
He had to regain his balance, and it doesn't take him long to get back to full speed after he does. Down to the 39-yard line.
First and 10 Bruins.
Hatcher with Watkins to his right. Fakes the handoff. Now looks to pass. Throws over the middle. It's caught over the middle. The 30, the 25. Driving down to the 22-yard line. Brett Lynch on the catch.
He's wrapped up by number
He's a junior.
Brett Freeman, along with number 12, Tracy.
First down. It'll move the chains down to the 22-yard line of Sand Springs.
First and 10 Bruins.
Hatcher ready to go as they reset things on first down. Watkins, the running back. Hatcher to throw over the middle. There's a man wide open. Touchdown. Trey Johnson again. He was wide open. This could be a wild one here. We played about 3 minutes, and the Bruins now retake the lead 12-7.
That drive just took 25 seconds.
25 seconds on that Bale Chevrolet scoring drive. 8:59 to go, and the Bruins are trying to make it 14-7. They'll go for 2. Hatcher rolls to his right on the 2-point conversion. Looks, throws. Trey Johnson back of the end zone. No, they're saying no. They're saying he was out of the back of the end zone. Trey Johnson didn't think so. He was tiptoeing back there, but they're going to say no good.
Bruins 12, Sandites 7.
So with 8:59 to go in the first quarter, we'll take a break. Our score, Pulaski Academy 12. Sand Springs Page 7. Listening to Bruin football on 96.5 FM, The Answer.
The Rogers family for Capital Business Machines.
It's real important to keep going what our dad has started.
He had a good reputation, and we want to continue that reputation. Business is about relationships, and I think a lot of times it gets too corporate.
Seatbelts.
Sounds like it's going to be a wild one, doesn't it?
8:59 to go in the first. We played 3 minutes, and it's 12-7 Bruins. Neither defense has stopped the offense yet. Bruins will kick it away from the 40-yard line. Ball laying flat on the turf. Kicking from their left to our right. Hatcher, the quarterback, will kick this one. He did a little spinaroo the first time. See what this one is. Now he's going to kick it the other way. Another spinaroo the other way.
Whoa!
It's live. It's live. If they can get it before it goes out of bounds, let's see. Did they? Well, they did. Whoa! They hit it right before it went out of bounds on the far side. And it's going to be Bruins football at the 48-yard line of Sand Springs. So the Bruins come up with, that's a big one there. We can always handle a few of those during the football game.
We'll take
changes the momentum around a little bit.
Yeah, Big Mo. We'll take any of those that we can get.
I guess that's the equivalent of a defensive stop, huh?
Right.
Getting the football back. At the Sand Springs 48. Hatcher. Watkins off to his left. 3 receivers to the right. That's the wide side of the field. Hands it off to Watkins. He's running right. Looking to cut it in. Still looking. Has a hold. The 40. Down to the 35-yard line. He is tough to bring down. Tough to bring down. Delvin Jordan finally corralled him at the 35. That's a first down. I'd hate to look up and see him coming at me. I'm telling you.
I would too.
I think I'd just run to the sideline and say, well, I'm not going to get him anyway. So why make a fool out of myself?
Right.
First and 10, the ball's at the 35. Hatcher alone in the shotgun. Drops back to pass. Rush is off on the outside. He's going to go down back at the 42. Rush came from the left defensive end. That's Delvin Jordan. He had a sight set on Hatcher. Took him down at the 42. That'll back it up 7 yards. Second down and 17 for the Bruins. Yeah, well, looking, they've got some athletes.
Yeah, Delvin's 6 foot 224. Fast, too.
Yeah. So second down and long. Hatcher looks to pass. Throws it out. It's going to be off the fingertips of the intended receiver. Looking for Hayden Cobb that time, a junior. Just off his fingertips. Had a defender there. But that was a little bit too high for everybody. Now it's 3rd and 17. Ball is at the Sand Springs 42-yard line. Bruins leading at 12-7 with 8 minutes to go in the first quarter. looking for more. A big third down play here. Hatcher back to pass, rushes on. He steps up, though, avoids one man, now throws downfield, throws it away. Had to kind of get rid of that one. He was scrambling.
Yeah, that one's intended for Jaron Watkins. Was way over his head there. I think you're right. He just threw that one away.
I think the Bruin Brigade caught that one, the band. Fourth down now and 17. The 42 need to get to the 25. Hatcher looks to the sidelines to get this fourth down play. 3 receivers to the right, close formation. See if they can hold them off of it. Hatcher back to pass, looks, has some time, has plenty of time. Now steps up, now throws long. Looking in the end zone, it's going to be out of bounds in the corner. About the 1 yard line that time, but it went out of bounds. Looking for Cameron Bland, and the defense for Sand Springs is hit. So the Bruins get it on the onside kick, but unable to do anything with it after a first down. Sand Springs will take over at their own 42. And we'll see if this defense for Pulaski Academy can buckle down.
Yeah. Now this would be kind of a game.
Wait for these lights to come on here, Brooks.
Yeah, they need to, don't they? This could be a game where the last team that has the ball wins the game.
Hunter Greathouse, the quarterback. Running back is Scott behind him on first down. Has a man in motion. Greathouse has it, hands it to Scott. He's hit at the line of scrimmage and turned away. Got a yard maybe. Brooks Walton, the first one to make contact. But at that time, the defensive line turned him back.
Just inside the 43-yard line.
Titus in on the tackle, too. Second down and 9. Greathouse, the quarterback, is a senior, 6'3". Scott, the running back, behind him. This time he's going to run a little option left. Bruins have it bottled up. Greathouse does good just to try to get back to the line of scrimmage. Will Hart, defensive lineman, was there to help plug the hole.
He's brought down to the 43-yard line.
So it's third down and 9.
47,
one more stop here, and Bruins can get the football back. Ball is at the Sand Springs 43-yard line. Third down and 9. Greathouse to pass, rolls to his right, rushes on. He throws downfield, got a man wide open at the 40-yard line of Pulaski Academy and a first down. Casey Bales, the receiver. Wow. Had the pressure on Greathouse.
Yeah, he was just wide open.
Thought they were going to bring him down, and he had a receiver downfield, Bales, who was open. First down at the Bruin 40.
Wesley Wise was in hot pursuit of the quarterback that time, just couldn't quite make the play.
Here's a handoff to the running back, and they've got him bottled up behind the line of scrimmage. Loss of a yard.
Brooks Walton
there.
He's having an outstanding game tonight, middle linebacker.
Be second down and 11. That time the defense blew that play up before they get to the line of scrimmage. The ball's at the 41. Second down 11. Moving from our right to our left, Greathouse. The running back off his right hip. Takes a snap, drops back to pass. Little screen pass over the middle to 40. What a job. And the ball's loose. What a job catching him. And the ball's loose. Sand Springs got it back at about the 34. Is that Fonseca that chased him down?
It was so fast I couldn't really tell, but whoever ripped the ball out, they certainly did.
Looks like Cameron Fonseca. Maybe Isaiah Wood. Somebody chased him down and just stripped the football. But Sandites have it back, and it's third down and 4. So they picked up some yardage in what could have been a disaster for them. Third and 4 from the 34. Greathouse has a running back, Scott, back there with him. He's going to hand it to Scott. He has a hole down close to the first down. I think he's going to be a little shy of the first down. It's going to be fourth down and about a half a yard. Maybe a full yard. 4th and 1. Zach David on the tackle. Stopped him from getting that first down. Here comes the big play. At the 31-yard line, need to get to the 30. See if they go power play or if Greathouse keeps it himself. But nope, he's going to line it back in the backfield. Here we go, 4th and 1. Greathouse has it, gives it to Scott. Scott's going to lean forward.
I don't know if he made it, Jay.
I don't know. Depends on where they mark it. It's right at the 30, but I can't tell if the stick on the far side is just beyond the 30.
He's wrapped up by number 34.
Let's see.
Blake Titus along with number 70.
First down. Well, now they're backing their chains up now. Let's see. Now they're saying first down.
First down.
One on the far side saying move the chains. So they're moving it. Coach Wood didn't like that upstairs. I can hear him stomping. I knew we'd hear him before.
Yeah,
first and 10 at the 30.
Up there.
He thought he had him stopped there. Greathouse with Scott behind him on 1st and 10 from the Bruin 30. Bruins leading this one 12-7 with 4:43 to go in the first. Fast start to this game. Slowed down a little bit now. Greathouse to pass. Looks left. Throws left. Has a man at the 30. Bruins have him bottled up. He makes a good move and gets a little yardage down. Now they got him stacked up, pushed back. 5 Bruins finally push Bales back at about the 28-yard line. So only picked up a couple. And if you're a little undersized, that's what you have to do. You have to swarm the football, and they did that time. A couple of yard gains, all it was. 2nd down and 8 with 28.
That play looked like it was going to go for a lot more.
Greathouse this time is going to hand it off to Scott. He's going to be hit behind the line of scrimmage and brought down. He was spun around. I believe he was spun around by
Brooks Walton, wasn't he?
Was it Walton or Woods? Yeah.
Woods.
Ganged up on him, and he was spun around and knocked backwards back at the 32. So now a big 3rd down and 12 from the 32. Greathouse looks to the sidelines. Scott's his running back on 3rd and 12. Now he steps back up and looks at the sidelines again. He's kind of jumpy. Finally gets back there, takes a snap, looks to pass. Rushes on. There's some holding, but the Bruins hit him anyway. Back at the 43. They were being held. Nothing was called. Ja'Cory McMillan finally broke through and sacked him, and that's a big play. That's going to bring up 4th down and a long, long way.
You know, that's one play I had never seen before where Jared Watkins played defense.
He sure did.
He lined up kind of as a linebacker and was on the rush, and they were holding him.
4th and 23 from the 43, and the Sandites are going to have to punt this one away. Casey Bales back to punt, has his feet on his own 42. Nobody back deep for the Bruins. That's normal. Gets a snap, gets the kick away. Good spiral. Let's see where it lands. It's going to land at the 5 and go into the end zone. So the Bruins will have it at the 20.
Yeah, the refs just didn't have their eyes open on that.
Yeah, they had him by the shirt, didn't they?
Yeah.
12-7 Bruins playing here at home. Opening game of the season against Sand Springs Page, just to the west of Tulsa. Bruins leading at 12-7 with 2:33 to go in the first. They'll have it starting this possession at their own 20, moving from our left to our right. Dressed in those light blue jerseys, gold helmets, gold pants. Hatcher back to pass on 1st down. Flings it out, and it's going to be off the hands of the receiver at the 25. Looking for Ray Jackson that time, and Jackson couldn't haul it in. Bring it 2nd down and 10 from the 20.
I think he tried to run with the ball before he
did.
Caught it.
He had some time, but that one got away from him.
I'm sure Coach Lucas will have a little say to him.
Hatcher slings this one out, caught at the 25. Good move. Back up to the 30, the 35, the 40, the 45, the 50. Broke loose, needs a block, and he got it. 30, the 20, the 15, the 10, 5. Touchdown, Trey Johnson. He broke loose, needed a block. He got it and traveled the rest of the way 80 yards, and the Bruins are now up 18-7.
It's an exciting ball game.
Well, they're racking up some numbers, I can tell you that. Yeah, he flung that out there to him. He had to make somebody miss. He did. Tried to arm tackle him. Couldn't get him down. Then he needed some interference along the way, and he got that from a teammate and went the rest of the way. They're going to go for 2. Hatcher by himself. He and the shotgun. Handoff up the middle we go, and this time it's good. I believe that looked like Trey Adams.
33?
Yep.
That was Trey Adams.
Think so. He took it in.
33, Trey Johnson.
So with 2:14 to go in the first quarter, the Bruins strike again. We'll take a break. Our score: Pulaski Academy 20, Sand Springs Page 7. You're listening to Bruin Football on 96.5 FM, The Answer.
My name is Will James. I was the starting left tackle for the 2011 PA football team. We put a lot of points on the board that year and dominated every team we played. Even though we were great offensively, we could not have had that kind of great defense. Bill James and the attorneys and staff at the James Law Firm know how important the strong defense is when the government accuses you of wrongdoing. If you find yourself in need of legal defense, there's only one place to go. That is the James Law.
This one off, and now setting the ball down is Trevor James, offensive lineman. We'll see him have a shot at it, maybe. You never know when the Bruins kick off. Ball is at the 40, laying flat on the turf. Awaiting the kick, and here comes the kick. It's a little spinner that's going to be recovered at about the 50, maybe the Bruins 49 by Sand Springs.
I personally like the spinneroo.
You like the spinneroo better than the scooter?
Yeah, I like the spinneroo better than the scooter. Yeah, that was strictly a scooter.
I like the hopper, you know, where it hops a couple of times and takes a big hop, you know. I like these technical names.
Yeah, spinner, hopper, and spinneroo. Or skipper.
Yeah. Well, Sand Springs will take it at the Bruin 49. Bruins leading at 20-7 here in the first quarter. Still have 2:12 to go in the first quarter. That was another big scoring drive presented by Bale Chevrolet, one of our fine sponsors. First and 10 at the 49-yard line. Greathouse hands it off to Scott. He tries the middle. He's going to get about 3 before he's dragged down. Peyton Titus is the first one there. Fonseca in on it.
Goes to number 34, Peyton Scott. He's stopped by
Got to give him 3.
Titus.
Second down and 7. You can tell already Scott's their workhorse at running back. Greathouse their quarterback. This time he's going to pass. Rush is on. He escapes to the right, throws to the right, and overthrows his receiver on the far side. He was looking for Dash Fleischman. Hayden Henry on coverage. Tell you what, that defensive line all of a sudden starting to assert itself. They're starting to knock that offensive line backwards a little bit.
They certainly are. Maybe the quickness has a little bit of an effect.
Third down and 7. Minute 39 to go in the first quarter. Bruins at home here in game number 1, leading 20-7 against an Oklahoma team from Sand Springs. Greathouse has a receiver to the right, 2 to the left. Looks to pass. He's looking left. The rush is on. Now he's taken down back there, and the fans wanted some holding. He's still scrambling. Finally has to shoot it. Incomplete as he got to the sideline. Crowd saying, when are you going to call holding? But that's going to bring up 4th down and 7 for Sand Springs. Ball is at the Bruin 46. See if they go for it. It looks like they're going to go for it on 4th and 7 from the 46. They do have Bales in there, who's their punter, but the quarterback's still in there too, Greathouse. He's going to call a play unless he quick kicks it or something like that. That doesn't look like it.
I don't believe he's going to. I think they're wanting to keep the possession.
4th and 7. Here we go. Greathouse drops back to pass. Rush is on. Throws. It's going to be up for grabs and incomplete, and the Bruins will take over. There was a, I tell you what, there was a pile of people right there. About 4 of them got their hands on it.
The ball was definitely thrown into coverage, no doubt.
So the Bruins turn them away, and they'll take over at their own 46. They've got it marked at the 44. Now they'll move it up to the 46. First and 10. Minute 24 to go in an exciting first quarter. Bruins leading at 20-7. Hatcher alone this time in the shotgun. 1 receiver to the left, 3 to the right, which is the near side of the field. Quick pitch to the right to the running back out of the backfield, the 50 down to the 45. That time he just threw it out there to Ja'Cory McMillan.
Pass is complete to number 24,
Jacory's a senior. Saw him flashes of some good running back moments last year for Jacory. Delvin Jordan on the tackle. Picked up 8. Second down and 2. Here's a handoff to Watkins running left. He's tripped up, just tripped up. He got a yard, but he was tripped up as he got to the 45. You know, he's one of those, every time he gets the football, you expect him to take off.
You do, you really do. He's so quick.
Third down and 1 as he got to the 45. Need to get to the 44. So third and short. May give it to Watkins again. Hatcher, nope, he's going to run a little reverse pass. Throwing it down the field, has a receiver. Can he get the ball to him? He has the 5-yard line. Just couldn't hold on. Barely.
Handoff goes to Cameron Bland.
That was Cameron Bland who almost brought it in at about the 5-yard line.
Kickoff is incomplete. 4th and 1.
So a big play here for this Sandite defense. 4th and 1 for the Bruins. Hatcher back to pass on 4th down. He's batted up. Intercepted. He's going the other way. The 40, the 35, the 30, the 25, the 20, the 15, the 10, 5, touchdown. You're talking about a turnaround. There's a turnaround. 4th and 1. The ball was batted in the air at the line of scrimmage and returned by Chris Edwards. 6 feet 220. And that turns everything around. Bruins looking like they had a good drive going. 4th and short, 4th and a yard. Ball gets batted up in the air, and all of a sudden, touchdown Sandites.
Yeah, that was a 55-yard interception, return for a touchdown.
Yeah, that changes things around.
Yeah, it certainly does.
20-13. Bales will be on for the extra point.
Thought the Bruins kind of had things going their way.
Looked like they're ready to put a dagger in it here in the first quarter. Now, all of a sudden, it's a ball game again. Bale's waiting to kick. Snap is good. The kick is up, and the kick is good.
Good.
We'll take a break. 15 seconds to go here in the first quarter. Our score now, Pulaski Academy 20. Sand Springs Page 14. You're listening to Bruin Football, 96.5 FM, The Answer.
I'm Anthony Lucas for Ortho-Surgeons. As a former Arkansas Razorback and Dallas Cowboy football player, I know what sports can do to the body, especially as the years pass. Arkansas's premier orthopedic surgery group has a team of orthopedic surgeons, PAs, and certified athletic trainers.
I just got a note that said Sandites rhymes with
sports injury needs from hand, shoulder, foot.
Until January of next year. It's a great way to save money for the upcoming holiday season, and it's available at Bell Chevrolet. Bell Chevrolet, find new roads.
Oh my. I'm Anthony Lucas for Ortho-Surgeons. As a former Arkansas Razorback and Dallas Cowboy football player, I know what sports can do to the body, especially as the years pass.
Hey guys, we're coming back after this.
Okay.
A team of orthopedic surgeons.
Second down for the Bruins as we start the second quarter. They're leading at 20-14 over Sand Springs Page. Ball is at their own 47. Hatcher back to pass on second down. Throws complete. That's a first down at the 46-yard line. A little bit of the change. Jared Watkins caught that one out of the backfield, and that'll move the stakes for a first down. They're going to give him, let's see if they give him the 45. They're going to mark it at the 40.
He stopped by number 2, Tyler Delosier.
46 and a half. Still a first down.
47-yard line.
Hatcher's already lined up. He's ready to go. And miss, cuts back. And he almost had a big hole there. He got down to the 40 to the 39-yard line. Going to pick up about 8 yards, maybe 9 on the play. We're going to give him 9 as he got down to the 38-yard line. Second down and a couple now. Hatcher, the junior quarterback, hands it off to Watkins. He's got the first down. Boy, does he explode. Down inside the 30 to the 28-yard line. That'll move the chains again. We're going to wear out the chain crew if we keep doing this.
We are.
We're going to need some water over there.
You know, it's a nice night for football. It's not real humid.
Yeah,
It's
thank
good
goodness.
cold front or cool front came through. Low humidities.
Hatcher fakes a pass. Now looks, doesn't have anybody open. Looks back to the right. Has a man open over the middle at the 25, the 20, down to the 15. Had to settle for his safety valve, which was his running back, Jaron Watkins. He found a little spot out there where he was alone, and he picks up another first down at the 16-yard line. They're going to give him a breather.
Yeah, he's been the workhorse the last 3 or 4 plays.
Going to give him a breather now.
J.R. Anderson took his place.
Yeah. First down for the Bruins at the 16. Hatcher has the football, fakes the handoff. Now he's in trouble, and he's going to be knocked down. Back at about the 18. He's going to lose a couple of yards, maybe 3 on the play.
I think Trey French was on the tackle there.
44, Gage Spain, along with number 35, Trey Finch.
So that's going to make it second down and 13 as they back it up to the 19. Just started the second quarter, Bruins leading. Sand Springs Page, 20-14. Hatcher alone this time on second down and 13. Looks to pass, shuffles to his left, throws over the middle, off the fingertips of intended receiver Brett Lynch that time.
I believe he'd had a little stick 'em on his gloves there. I think he'd have caught that one, Jay.
Right over his shoulder, and he was reaching as far as he could and just went off his fingertips. So that brings up third down and 13 from the 19. Need to get down to the 6 for a first down. Hatcher with 1 receiver to the right, 3, make it 4 to the left. He's looking left. Now looks over the middle, now left again, has plenty of time, gets up, flings it to the right, caught. Down inside the 15 to about the 14, maybe the 13-yard line. That's going to bring up fourth down anyway. Anderson caught it out of the backfield. It's at the 19. It's going to be fourth down and about 8. So here we go on fourth down. Anderson remains in there at running back. Hatcher rolls to his left, looks, throws it out, caught at the 10, at the 5. That's a first down inside the 5-yard line. Knock him back. We had enough of the first down. Wait, try to get a number. That's Ja'Cory McMillan made the catch inside the 5. So that'll move the chains again. It'll be first and goal. That was a big play on fourth down.
Absolutely.
Leading 20-14. Need to keep this thing going. Just inside the second quarter here. This time Jaron Watkins is in the shotgun. I think he's got Hatcher split wide right. Has a man in motion. Now flag comes in.
Prior to the snap, there's a penalty flag on the play.
And the Bruins look like they're backing up. Yep. Somebody moved.
Snap infraction. Pulaski Academy. 5-yard penalty from the previous spot. Still first down.
All right. So that'll back them up 5 yards. Back to the 8-yard line. Watkins takes the handoff, gives it to Hatcher. This time he tries to throw it and the ball's knocked down. I think it's going to be incomplete. It is. A little moment of panic there because everybody started scrambling for the football.
Everybody thought it was a fumble or something, didn't they? It was just a batted down pass.
Second down and goal for the Bruins. Well, that didn't work. So it's going to be second and goal from the 8-yard line. A penalty on first and goal, and then an incompletion. Hatcher this time, quick pitch. Nope, hang on. Hang on, whistles. Now they're going to call.
False start. Offense. 5-yard penalty from the previous spot. Still second down.
Getting a little sloppy on
Well, that'll back it up. Gives them more room to score, Brooksy.
Oh, okay. Well,
that's what they're doing. They're too close.
Yeah, that's right.
Too close. They need some more room. Backs them up to the 13. Started at the 3. The second and goal from the 13. Hatcher alone in the shotgun. Takes a snap, looks, rushes on, throws it over the middle, and it's going to be in and out of the hands of the receiver that time. Looked like Ray Jackson tried to bring that one in over the shoulder. And it's going to be third down. Well, this hasn't been artistic yet to this point. We'll see if they can get it straightened out.
Yeah.
It'll be third down and goal from the 13-yard line. This time Watkins is a running back. He's off to the right of Hatcher. Hatcher looks to pass throw. Throws a screen
back to
the
Watkins.
left. Watkins at the 10, at the 5.
Touchdown.
He's in the end zone. Good job of blocking downfield, too. Little swing pass, a little screen off to the left, and Watkins just waited for his blocks and sped right into the end zone. That's a big answer right there.
Yeah, the Bruins definitely needed that.
Going to go for 2. Hatcher alone back there in the shotgun on the 2-point converter. He's going to take it himself up the middle, and he's in. He just took it and just lowered his shoulder and head and went right into the end zone.
Hatcher keeps up the middle.
So with 8:28 to go, we'll keep it right here. 8:28 to go in the first half. Bruins now lead at 28-14. You know, this is one of those games where it feels like so far the Bruins have kind of dominated, but you look at the scoreboard and it's 28-14.
It's been a good, exciting ball game. I'm sure Sam Sand Springs is kind of wondering, you know, what's going on here, you know, with this offense that the Bruins are running.
Bruins at times have seemed to be able to do what they wanted to do. Greathouse, the quarterback. Scott, the running back, on his left. Sends a man in motion. Quick pitch to the man in motion. Defense responds. He gets away from one pack and piles across the 45 out to about the 46, maybe the 47-yard line. Dalton Morgan was the man who picked up the yardage for the Sandites.
Pass is complete to number 16, Dalton Morgan.
He did move it out to the 47, so a good gain of 8.
By number 20, Brooks Walton.
The second and a couple.
Along with number 2, Chris Lang at the 42-yard line, second and 2.
Second and short. Greathouse, the quarterback, hands it off to his running back. He is stacked up. He's not going to get back to the line of scrimmage that time.
Dalton Morgan again, Jay.
Yeah. That time, no room for Dalton Morgan. I'm going to be amazed. Well, I am amazed. They gave him the line of scrimmage.
He's wrapped up by number 32.
But anyway, it's going to bring it third down at a couple.
At the 47-yard line.
So third down and 2.
Third and 2.
Good job defensively that time, that defensive line. Greathouse hands it off to him again. This time another good job of stopping him. This time he did not get back to the line of scrimmage. Morgan stopped at the 46. Isaiah Woods was the first defender there.
For about a 1-yard loss.
And that's going to bring up fourth down and 3.
46-yard line, 4th and 3.
Well, I'll tell you what, I am really impressed with the defensive line play.
Ball's at the 46. Yeah, they need to get to the 49. Yeah, it looks like they're going to go. Of course, if you don't make it here, you're going to leave the Bruins. Yeah, they're going to talk about it.
Yeah,
if you don't make it here, you're going to leave the Bruins with good field position at the 46-yard line.
Right.
So they're going to call a timeout and talk about it. We'll keep it right here. Good to have Miss Vicki in the booth with us. Vicki Hinkson, soon to be. Vicki Jones.
Vicki Jones. She's got a big smile on her face.
About 23 days, 25th of September. She's doing me the honor of becoming my wife. So
I just want to say congratulations to both of you, Jake. And you too, Vicki.
Well, I'm the lucky one, I guarantee you. But, you know, she's grown. She knows what she's getting into, so.
She wasn't born last night,
That's right? Yeah.
Or yesterday.
Yeah. Fourth down and 3. Bruins defense comes back out on the field. Ball's at the 46. The Sandites, which rhymes with kites.
I think they thought about it.
Yards.
They're going to run or try to make go for the first down.
Yep. Here we go. Greathouse. Shotgun formation. Has a man in motion on 4th and 3. He's going to kick it away. Quick kick. Nobody back there for the Bruins. There wouldn't have been anyway. It's going to hit at the 10. It's going to make a divot and come back out to about the 14-yard line. And that's where the Bruins will take over. Well, they decided just to kick it away. So the Bruins defense holds, with the Bruins leading at 28-14 with 6:33 to go until halftime.
Let me say this, Jay. If I'd been the coach, I'd done the same thing that coach did.
Yep.
Of course, I'm not.
Rolls down to the 14-yard line.
So the Bruins will take over 86 yards away from another touchdown. Hatcher comes back out on the field after being talked to by Coach Kelly and the staff. What a staff here, I'm telling you. In my opinion, the best in the state.
And they've been together
Kevin
for a long
Kelly,
time.
His staff.
Coach Kelly's been here 13 years.
Here's Hatcher. Hands it off to Watkins. Has a hole at the 15, the 20. He's bumped down at about the 23-yard line. He got kind of blindsided that time.
Yeah, he was waylaid there by number 41 for the Sands. Delvin Jordan again.
He's played a game so far in the first half. Watkins picked up 9 out to the 24. Quickly back to the line of scrimmage. Hatcher hands it off to him again. Watkins looking left. He gets out of a shoestring tackle, battling, gets back to the line of scrimmage. May have picked up close to the first down. I don't think he quite got it, but we'll see. Cody Moats in on the tackle, along with Hayden Kramer. It's going to be 3rd and short. 3rd and about half the length of, well, now they're going to go on the far side saying first down. It is a first down. Now they got to wait on the chains to get there. Here we go. Hatcher to pass, throwing left. It's going to be caught at the 30, out to the 35, to the 38, to the 39-yard line. That's
Mr. Hudson Henry.
Hudson Henry. It is Hudson Henry.
Number 84.
Sophomore, 6'4", 210. That looked like he knew what he was doing there.
Yeah, he did. Kind of looked a little bit like his brother Hunter.
Yeah, kind of the way he was running, it did. Looked familiar. Of course, his brother Hayden, fine player for the Bruins. Here's a keeper by Hatcher to the 40, to the 44-yard line before he dances out of bounds. So he's going to pick up a good 7 yards or so. Give him 6 out to the 44. 2nd down and 4. Bruins moving from our right to our left.
At the 44-yard line, 2nd and 4.
2nd down. Bruins have something cooking here. Hatcher alone in the shotgun. Takes the snap, turns around, throws to the right. It's going to be caught at the 40 to the 35. Looks like a first down before they drive him back to about the 45-yard line. Cody Moats on the tackle. Luke Bratcher there also to bring down Ray Jackson. Oh, there's R.J. Anderson out of the backfield. Tell you what, you're going to hear a lot from R.J. this year, too. They're going to say he's a yard shy, so it'll be 3rd down and 1 at the 47-yard line. Need to get to the 48. Hatcher back to pass, quick pass over the middle, incomplete. Now you're looking at a 4th and 1.
Pass intended for Cameron Bland is incomplete.
Bland couldn't come down with it. Big rush that time on Hatcher. And it's going to be 4th and a yard.
These defensive ends are giving Lane a little bit of trouble. They've had several tips tonight, and he's having a hard time getting the ball over them.
Well, we'll see what happens here on 4th down and 1. No running back on 4th and 1 from their own 47. Need to get to the 48. Hatcher rolls to his left, looks, throws, has a man, caught, first down. Makes a man miss at the 45. Down to the 42-yard line before 4 or 5 Sandites finally bring him down.
Number 81, Cameron Bland.
Yep. Bland makes the catch. I don't know why they marked the ball all the way back where they brought him down.
Oh, they should.
Do you?
No.
I mean, he caught the ball and moved it down to about the 41-yard line before he's pushed back, and now they're going to mark it back at the 44.
Don't you take your forward possession?
Yeah, that's what I thought. But anyway, here we go. Here's a quick pitch back to the running back.
R.J.
Anderson, the 45 down to the 40. Spins down inside the 35. And a flag comes in on somebody on the sidelines. And we'll see if this is against Sand Springs or.
There's a penalty flag on the play.
It was over on the sidelines, a little tussle going on.
Somewhere number 2 for Sand Springs was over in the
PA
sidelines there. I don't know what that was about.
Looks like the Bruins are moving back. I don't think Sand Springs has got a penalty yet, so surely this is against the Bruins. Yeah, they're gonna talk about it. Like first down yardage, and then the flag came in on the sidelines. Sand Springs had a penalty yet?
I don't think so, Jay.
Just saying.
No.
Yeah. just the thought just came to my mind. Now,
Right.
well, let's see. Now it's going to be against the Bruins.
Yep. This is going to be a biggie.
I think so. If he keeps walking, it's going to be.
Yeah, that's the big one.
Back to
about the 50, isn't it?
He's not through yet. Give him a chance.
Oh,
he
he's
may
gonna go
mark
some
off
more.
5
Oh,
more. No, he's going to
no.
put it down there at the 50. So that's.
He looked
Well,
left and right and
they
said,
never
that's
did tell
enough.
us, but I think it's a personal foul.
Yeah.
First down, it'll be 1st and 15. Hatcher back to pass, looks, rushes on. Quick pitch out to the sidelines, about the 45-yard line. Now the fans are saying, what about that one? But, you know, you got to treat the visitors nicely. Hayden Kramer on the tackle.
Hudson Henry on the catch.
Yep, down to about the 44-yard line. Gets it back to the, at least it's 2nd down and 10 now at the 44. Hatcher back to pass on 2nd down. Looks, has plenty of time, throws long. Has a man wide open if they can connect. Touchdown!
Number 24.
Touchdown! Pretty pass.
Corey McMillan.
You're going to be hearing from Ja'Cory this too.
Yeah.
He's a threat. Ja'Cory just ran away from the defense.
Yeah.
He was wide open. It was just a matter of Lane looking down there and finding him. So now they are going to kick. The Bruins are going to kick for the extra point, leading at 34-14. 4:37 to go here in the third.
Correction number 24, Ja'Cory McMillan.
Now, let's see. The officials want to stop this one.
Encroachment, defense.
There we go. A
Half the
penalty on
distance to
Sand
the goal.
Springs. Encroachment.
Replay the try.
So they'll take the tee to the sidelines and go for 2. Well, you see this all season long when the Bruins on the extra point do that shift and the defense jumps. Gives them a better chance for a 2-point conversion, and that's what they're going to try for here. Hatcher with Anderson off to his left. Looks to pass. Throws over the middle. It's going to be, let's see. Did he catch it? If he did, that was a heck of a catch, and it was.
Pass is complete to Trey Johnson.
Johnson in the back of the end zone. There were about 4 or 5 guys passing each other,
Two-point conversion
and he caught it.
Making the score
2-point conversion's good.
Sandites 14.
I don't know if Rick can hear us down there. Rick David, can you hear us?
I can.
Well, what's the feeling down there, Rick? We look up at a 36-14 scoreboard.
Well, basically what you're seeing out of PA is early on, they
He did.
Head to the open area there.
Boy, what a 1-2 punch that could develop into with
Yes.
those 2 guys. Minute 34 to go. The Bruins have scored again. They lead it 42-14. Hatcher on for the extra point. That's provided Sand Springs Page doesn't jump off sides here and give the Bruins an opportunity to go for 2. Snap is good. The kick is up, and the kick is on top of the building. It's good. So another scoring drive brought to you by Bale Chevrolet. We'll take a break. Minute 34 to go in the first half. Our score, Pulaski Academy 43, Sand Springs Page 14. You're listening to Bruin Football on 96.5 FM, The Answer.
Life isn't about the time we're given, but how we choose to spend it or live it. Consider the Palisades at Chenal Valley in the heart of Chenal. New stainless steel appliances, garden tubs, and screened-in porches. Minutes from signature shopping. Or Ridge at Chenal Valley. 9-foot ceilings, granite countertops, spectacular mountain views. Just minutes from the best dining in West Little Rock. The Palisades at Chenal Valley and Ridge at Chenal Valley. Contact the leasing office.
with 1:34 to go until halftime. Coach Kevin Kelly and a fine staff. Blake Amsler, offensive line, wide receivers, of course, Anthony Lucas. Defensive coordinator Todd Wood. What a job he's done over the years.
He really has.
Defensive line, Madison Taylor. Defensive backs, Jason Wyatt. Just a good job by all of them. And here comes the kickoff. This is a bouncer that's going to be fielded back at about the 30-yard line and fallen upon back there. Sand Springs will take over at their own 30. Well, now here's what you don't want to do. You got them down 43-14, minute and a half to go. You don't want to let them score and feel like they're right back in this thing.
Right, you need to shut them down before halftime and don't let them score.
Don't forget, stay tuned for Dennis Prager immediately following tonight's game on 96.5 FM, The Answer. Sand Springs got a minute and a half to work with here in the first half. Great House, the quarterback. He's going to pass, throwing left. It's going to be caught at the 35. Gets away from one defender at the 40, out to the 42. He was hit at the 35, but spun away. Zach David brings him down. That's first down out to the 43. Pick up of 13.
At the 43-yard line, 1st and 10.
Moving quickly now. Great House shouts out instructions, now backs up. Scotts is running back off to his left. 2 receivers to the right, 2 to the left. Hands it off to Scott. Bruins have him. They've got him bottled up at the 43, maybe the 44. Might have got a yard out of it. Isaiah Woods was the first man there.
Handoff goes to number 34, Peyton Scott.
So Scott picks up a yard.
He's stopped by number 30, Isaiah Woods.
Under a minute now in the first half. Down to 50 seconds.
And 9.
Second down and 9. Great House back to pass. Has plenty of time. Plenty of time. Now runs to his left. Throws it. It's caught at the 49-yard line. What a hit at the 49-yard line. Brooks Walton.
He lowered the boom
Brooks
on him,
Walton
man.
said, oh, that's it. You'll stop right here. And he did. Wow. A timeout called by Sand Springs Page.
That's their second of the half.
That was a pickup up to the 49. It's going to leave them with a 3rd and 4.
3rd and 4.
They're going to call a timeout, talk it over. I believe that's their second timeout. They got one left, 34 seconds to go until halftime. Bruins leading this one 43-14, trying to win that 28th in a row. Of course, next week, they're on the road. A little bit of a road trip, Salt Lake City.
Yeah, it's a long road trip.
Yeah. Playing East High School in Salt Lake City.
How many days drive out there is it, Jay? About 3 or?
About 17 the way I drive. Yeah. I'm not a real fast driver.
Not fast? Okay. All right.
Vicky's not even going to say
Right,
anything.
I don't even want to go with you then,
Just
do
going
I?
to nod. She's not even going to say anything. And then it's on to McCracken County, Kentucky on the 16th. And then when we get back, guess what? We're on the road again at J.A. Fair. And here we go, 3rd down and 4 from the 49. Hunter Greathouse, the quarterback. Looks to pass, rushes on, flings it out. It's going to be caught. Good catch and kept his toes in bounds at the 39 of Pulaski Academy. Mac Thompson did a good job of stretching out for that one. On the Bruins sideline. First down at the 39. 29 seconds to go now. First down for Sand Springs Page. Moving from our left to our right. Right in front of our booth.
We definitely need a stop on this series.
Great House has a running back that's Scott behind him. You'd think they'd want to pass here, though. One timeout left. Here's a pass over the middle. It's going to be incomplete. Got him out the 28-yard line. Thought for a minute that was going to be intercepted. Casey Bales was the intended receiver.
2nd and 10.
That'll stop the clock. It'll be 2nd down and 10, 24 seconds remaining in the half. 43-14. Bruins. Home opener, season opener. 39-yard line of Pulaski Academy. 2nd down and 10. Great House takes the snap, rolls to his left, looks downfield, fires, has a man out there. This one's going to be incomplete. Overthrown by a couple of yards, down about the 1 yard line. Hayden Henry back there defending. He was actually as close to it as the receiver was.
Pass intended for number 11, Caleb Washington.
So that'll bring up 3rd down and 10 from the 39-yard line with 17 seconds to go in the half.
I'll say this, Grady House has got a pretty good arm on him. That was about a 50-yard pass in the air.
He's a big kid, too, 6'3".
180.
Meets with his coach, comes back out on the field. They break the huddle, come to the line of scrimmage. Scott's his running back off to his left. 3rd down and 10 from the Bruin 39. Takes a snap, looks to pass, has some protection, rolls to his right, running out of time. He's going to go down at midfield. He ran out of time at midfield, and 2 Bruins collide there.
Number 47 and number 44 for
Cameron
the Bruins.
Fonseca and Will Osmond. And that'll force them to use their last timeout with 4 seconds to go in the half. And it'll be 4th down and about 20.
Timeout, Sand Springs. That's our last of the half.
4th and 19, 4th and 21. 4th and 21.
You know, a good way to stop any good passer, Jay, is put the heat on him.
Yeah, and he rolled out to his right, and he was met by the Bruins. And tried to stop his momentum, slid a little bit. By that time, 2 Bruins had him at the 50. And this will be last play time for Sand Springs here in the first half. Bruins leading at 43-14, and you just want to knock this thing down and go to the house here at halftime and talk it over a little bit.
Take a breather and regroup.
Yep. You don't want to let anything exciting here happen. Just knock it down and get out of here. Up by 29. 4 seconds left in the half. Stay tuned for halftime. Rick David's going to be with us. He's going to take you through halftime. Halftime show will be powered by Capital Business Machines. We're fine sponsors. Here we go. Could be the old Hail Mary. Great House back to pass. Rushes on. Throws it as far as he can. It's wobbly. It's up in the air, and it's going to be intercepted at the 15.
Intercepted.
20 to the 25. Intercepted.
Number 5. Hayden Henry.
Hayden Henry gets an interception, and that'll end the first half. So we can say, so far, so good. 27 wins in a row, looking for 28, and at halftime, the Bruins lead at 43-14.
We're halfway there, Jay.
Yep, over Sand Springs Page, the Sandites, visitors from just outside of Tulsa. Take a break. Join us for halftime right after this. You're listening to Bruin Football on 96.5 FM, The Answer.
The Rogers family for Capital Business Machines.
It's real important to keep going.
Hey, guys. Hey. Hello? Hey, is anyone there? Hello?
Hello?
Hey, could you take this legal ID when you come back or whenever you get a chance?
Yeah, how about when you want to do it when we go to break?
Yeah, that'd be fine.
I'll do it when we go to break.
Okay, cool.
As a former Arkansas Razorback and Dallas Cowboy football player, I know what sports can do to the body.
Hello, everyone. We're back here at Pulaski Academy, Rector Field at Joe B. Hatcher Stadium. The PA Bruins are winning 43-14 at halftime. And Brooks, we're back in the saddle for another season here.
It's great to be back. I'll say that.
It's good to be back.
Everybody likes football season, and it's finally got here, and it's well worth the wait.
No doubt, no doubt. We were able to watch some college football last night, and now we're in the swing with high school football with PA Bruins really kind of getting the swing of things. You know, the first half looked a little bit sloppy. It's kind of hard to say, well, you look sloppy when it's 43-14, but you want to know what? They did look a little sloppy.
Yeah, they did. There were some mistakes, you know, a few penalties right back to back, and just in their lack of concentration. But, you know, this is the first ball game, so you got to take that in consideration.
Absolutely. What it was, you could tell some of the fundamentals that you see later on in the season aren't there. You know, you could see Lane Hatcher wasn't getting his feet set properly on some of the passes early on. And then next thing you know, in the second quarter, he's getting his feet set. And the ball's coming out a little faster. It's coming out with a little bit more zing. The offensive line, it's getting in the groove.
Right.
You couldn't see any holes for Jaron and R.J. Anderson. You know, they just couldn't find any holes. Next thing you know, they're popping. Defense kind of gave up a couple of plays early on. You know, I went ahead and I was on the sidelines. I was able to listen to Coach Wyatt talking to the secondary, and you know, it was just a busted coverage. It's understanding how to play in a game situation, putting all the bullets out there and shooting them live. That's ultimately what's happening. And PA responded with a solid second quarter, wouldn't you say?
Certainly. I was really impressed with the second quarter. They just seemed to kind of, quote, jail and just kind of came together, and they were playing good football in the second quarter.
No doubt. Really, when you look at the drives, there was a total of 6 drives that PA had. The first 3 drives were 3 plays or less. So you had a 3-play drive, a 3-play drive, then a 2-play drive. Trey Johnson had a big first quarter.
He certainly did.
He scored quite a few touchdowns. And next thing you know, you start seeing multiple play drives. You know, the 4th drive was a 9-play drive. The 5th play was a 9-play drive. The 6th play was a 5-play drive. You know, they were for 5th to happen because, you know, they're a play-action offense. They're kind of like Arkansas is, but just obviously not as dynamic. And you could tell, you know, early on the secondary got caught, you know, kind of with their eyes in the wrong spot. You do that in the secondary, you're looking at some big problems. But the defense is stepping up like PA defenses do. You know, one thing that people don't realize is when you kick an onside kick and you don't get it, you're putting your defense in quite a bind.
Yes, you are, absolutely.
And when you look at PA scores, you go, wait, they do an onside kick every time? And you're like, yeah. And so the defense walks out there, and they're getting the ball, and other teams got 30, 40 yards to go. And guess what? The defense goes, well, we do this every game. They don't freak out about it.
Right.
The emotions are in check when it comes to those situations. And that's one thing that Coach Kelly has done over the years in watching PA football is he really gets these guys prepared for situations, wouldn't you say, Brooks?
I think he really does. To me, he's just an outstanding coach. I've watched him since 2003, and he's really an outstanding coach.
Definitely. You know, PA Bruins, they have a ton of talent. When you look at the receiving corps, they're very, very good. You look at the defense, they play hard, they play really, really fast. But, you know, he has them prepared. They're prepared physically, they're prepared mentally, and they're prepared emotionally. You know, when it comes to game situations, he really has them ready for every situation. From a mental perspective, they do their pre-snap homework, they line up, and they execute. You know, looking at the summer and being able to observe my son, Zach, and the rest of the team, looking at Sand Springs and seeing them play, it reminds me of, like we talked about during the game, where PA went to Greenwood. They took on Greenwood, Northside, Fort Smith Northside, Russellville, and Broken Arrow. And every one of those teams kind of looked a little bit different. Greenwood obviously was probably the best of the lot outside of PA. But Broken Arrow looked like that team from Sand Springs, probably a little bit more physical and a little bit more athletic at the skilled positions, and PA was able to hang with them. And, you know, in talking with my son last night, and really kind of getting a feel for what he thought, you know, he felt like, you know, that they were going to be able to come out and do what they were able to do this evening. What are you expecting for the second half?
I expect the PA will continue to try to score and just try to hold Sand Springs from scoring, play good defense again, and wrap it up with a win.
Yeah, I do too. I'm anxious to see how Sand Springs is going to react. What do you tell a team that's not used to the style of football? They've heard about PA. The coaches talked about everything from HBO to ESPN. What do you tell a team when you're down 43-14 and this team has, gone pretty far in the playoffs? That's got to be pretty difficult. I think Sand Springs, they're going to come out trying to get something going. And all it's going to take is one, prick in the balloon by PA, and it's going to pop. And then you're really going to see probably an onslaught, in regards to the scoring, and the JVs will end up coming into the game. It's I'll tell you this much, Sand Springs, they've played admirable. They didn't quit right here at the half. They've got some talent. I just think the kind of style of football that they're playing right now really doesn't fit being able to
make a comeback.
To make a comeback. Do you agree?
No, I think you're right there. In my opinion, I think right now Sand Springs is shell-shocked.
Yep.
They got hit in the face, and right now they hadn't answered the bell again.
Yep, that's exactly it. They haven't been able to answer the bell. We thought they did when they tipped the ball and took the score, but PA responded by getting right on top of them, getting the score again, and that really kind of probably deflated them.
Yeah.
When you look at how Sand Springs line up, they line up with a tight end and a one-back set. So you're 11 personnel, if you will, and when you do that, you're basically saying, okay, we're going to try and get the ball on the ground, or we're going to throw some short stuff. They hadn't been able to spread out PA. They haven't been able to run the ball up the middle, which, if you're taking on Pulaski Academy and you can run it up the middle and keep running it, you're going to have some success. The problem is they can't run it up the middle.
No, they sure can't.
They kind of did it early, but, once everyone settled down, emotions.
All your workflow is flowing.
Capital Business Machines delivers Kyocera document solutions to businesses throughout Arkansas. We understand your needs are unique. So are our solutions. Contact us today for a free document assessment at catbiz.com.
Hey, it's Hunter Bell from Bell Chevrolet. It's that time of year. The kids are back in school and
coming back after this
corner, which is why we're postponing your payments until 2017. Stop by Bell Chevrolet, pick out any new or pre-owned vehicle in stock, and you won't make a payment until January of next year. It's a great way to save money for the upcoming holiday season, and it's available at Bell Chevrolet. Bell Chevrolet, find new roads.
Alrighty, we're back. We're back here at Pulaski Academy, where the score is 43-14. We've got about 6 or 7 minutes left here in halftime. Brooks, when you look at the schedule, we got a trip next week.
Yeah, we've got, as Jay said, about a 17-day trip by car, but that's not true. We're going to be flying out to Salt Lake City, Utah, and going to be leaving Thursday and come back Saturday. So, and that Friday, of course, we'll be playing the game against Salt Lake City East.
Yes. I was able to get my hands on some video of East High and Salt Lake City. By the way, they're located right off of the campus of the Utah Utes, really, really close by. They're a good-looking team. They're a physical ball club that they're running a similar offense like Lake Hamilton, where they're running the double wing kind of Navy Army offense.
Okay.
So and the thing is they've got some athletes and they've got some big boys. So it's going to be up to the defense to be really, really disciplined in regards to playing option football. When you go ahead and you look at the PA offense, PA offense is just going to have to do their thing. It's, there's really nothing drastic that you see in the East High defense that you would be able to tell that the PA Bruins would have problems with on the offensive side of the ball. The kids are big, they're physical.
So it makes him hurry up, and he doesn't make good decisions. So if you got all day, you can just sit back there and just pick them apart, and that's what Lane's done tonight.
No doubt. PA's got great receivers. They have a great running back, but the offensive line is giving Lane some time. Even though they've mixed it up, Sand Springs has mixed it up pretty good on the defensive front. And then when you go ahead and you take a look at the PA defensive line, they've really wreaked some havoc on that quarterback for Sand Springs. And, they've forced some fumbles. They create some big hurries, and then they were able to get some sacks. When you look at the game, once again, it comes down to line of play. And we're going to be facing East High, a tall task, just because they're big kids and they are very good at the point of attack. The key is going to be tempo. The key is going to be defense, and the key is going to be special teams, the type of game that PA wants to run.
Yeah.
And how they respond to the altitude is going to be something.
That was one question I was going to ask you. What's the altitude at Salt Lake City?
I want to say 4,000.
Okay.
Somewhere around there.
Okay.
We were talking about it, a bunch of the dads. We were talking about it on our Thursday dads deal that we do with the boys each Thursday before a game. And that's what it's going to be. So, they're getting there on Wednesday, so I'm sure Coach will get there and they'll practice and be able to take care of things. It's not going to be like you're going to be, High Stadium, in Denver. But, you're definitely going to be able to feel it probably.
Yeah, no difference,
They definitely will notice it for sure. So it'll be an exciting game, and then the week after that, they're going to Paducah, Kentucky to play McCracken County. So two road games with two good teams, because McCracken, from what I understand and talking with Coach Kelly, is also a formidable foe. And then we come back and we get into city play, where we're going to go ahead and we line up with Fair, then BB, and then the big game at Little Rock Christian, who they lost a tough one to Warren the other day. Then they play Sylvan Hills, Parkview. Then comes the big game against McClellan, which is going to be a fun game.
Yeah, it's going to be a slugfest.
Yeah,
again.
it will. It definitely will. McClellan is definitely a worthy foe, and they've got some great talent over there. And then they end up with Mills, and then hopefully the playoffs at that point in time, and make another run for the state title. It'd be nice to be able to keep that run going.
Rick, I ask you a question here. I know we're playing out-of-state teams. What has gotten where nobody in Arkansas wants to play PA, or what?
That's exactly it. You have less teams really wanting to play because it's just demoralizing at that point in time. When you look at Sand Springs, they're 43-14. It's the opening game of the season. It's going to be tough. It's tough to go back, and when you're taking on the chin like that, that's just not too easy.
Yeah.
Well, we're going to take another quick break before we start it, and I'll hand it off to Jay. You're listening to Bruin Football on 96.5 FM, The Answer.
At Kyocera, we see your company differently. We see your documents, how they're accessed, what it takes to keep them secure, and how well your workflow is flowing.
Capital Business Machines delivers Kyocera document solutions to businesses throughout Arkansas. We understand your needs are unique. So are our solutions. Contact us today for a free document assessment at catbiz.com.
Hey, it's Hunter Bell from Bell Chevrolet. It's that time of year. The kids are back in school, and believe it or not, the holidays are just around the corner, which is why we're postponing your payments until 2017. Stop by Bell Chevrolet, pick out any new or pre-owned vehicle in stock, and you won't make a payment until January of next year. It's a great way to save money for the upcoming holiday season, and it's available at Bell Chevrolet. Bell Chevrolet, find new roads.
My name is Will James. I was the starting left tackle for the 2011 PA football team. We put a lot of points on the board that year and dominated every team we played. Even though we were great offensively, we could not have had that kind of season without a great defense. Bill James and the attorneys and staff at the James Law Firm know how important a strong defense is when the government accuses you of wrongdoing. If you find yourself in need of legal defense, there's only one place to go. That is the James Law Firm. Offices in Little Rock, Conway, and Fayetteville. Call anytime, 375-BILL.
Life isn't about
Coming back after this.
Okie dokie.
or live it. Consider the Palisades at Chenal Valley in the heart of Chenal. New stainless steel appliances, garden tubs, and screened-in porches. Minutes from signature shopping. Or Ridge at Chenal Valley. 9-foot ceilings, granite countertops, spectacular mountain views. Just minutes from the best dining in West Little Rock. The Palisades at Chenal
to be a color with you or be on the air with you, and I really enjoyed that, and it was exciting.
Big stadium, big-time atmosphere just outside downtown Dallas.
Yeah.
And won that one. They, some of those kids for Dallas Highland Park, last time the Dallas Highland Park had lost at home, they weren't even born.
No, certainly weren't.
So that was a big win. And then, of course, the Bruins ran off 13 more and won a state championship over McClellan last year. And now we're starting the season off in 2016. Folks around here excited, hoping for a three-peat.
Yeah.
And I tell you what, Bruins looked the part in the first half, considering this is the first game of the season. But there's a long way to go, especially once you get into the playoffs. You have one of those situations. Once you get in the playoffs, it's one and done.
Yeah, one and done. And
anybody can pick you off.
Yeah, you go to the house.
But a long way to go to get there. The Bruins next week at East High School in Salt Lake City. Then they'll travel to Paducah, Kentucky. Then they'll be back in Little Rock, but they'll be on the road at J.A. Fair. And they'll take on the 30th. Next time we see them here will be the 30th against BB. Then away at Little Rock Christian, home against Sylvan Hills, home against Parkview, away at McClellan. Kind of a quirk in the schedule. We played them there last year, too. We'll have to play them there again this year.
Well, you know what caused that, don't you? Little Rock Parkview came in, and they had to make a slot for them, so I noticed that myself. But maybe it'll be a good ball game over there. So.
Last game of the season will be November the 4th at home against Little Rock Mills. So 27 in a row. If they can finish this one off tonight, it'll be 28 in a row. And we're about ready to start the second half. Bruins leading it 43-14. As we prepare to start the third quarter, the Bruins will be kicking from our left to our right. Have the tee out there. They're going to try one of those bouncy onside kicks and see if they can get the right bounce out of it. They have recovered one onside kick. Lane Hatcher looks like he's going to be the one kicking in here. Nope, he fakes it. They come from the other side. This is a long bouncer.
Yeah, that was a bouncy.
It's going to be fielded inside the 20 at about the 18. So, well, it worked out. Didn't work as an onside kick, but you've got Sand Springs pinned back at their own 18. Scott recovered it for the Sandites.
You know, he'd really been wise to let that. I don't think anybody had touched it. He might have just let that go out of bounds and been better off.
Get the ball to 35 that way. They'll start at their own 18. Moving from our right to our left.
Looks like we still have the first defense in.
Quarterback has gone on the way. Hunter Greathouse, 6'3". Youngster takes a snap, looks to pass, throws left and has a man open at the 20 up to the 22. He pays the price as he gets to the 23-yard line. Brooks Walton.
I tell you what, Brooks Walton's a headhunter.
Did he have that hit in the first half? Was that Brooks
Yeah,
Walton?
that was Brooks Walton also.
Pick up 6 out to the 24. Greathouse. Hands off to Scott. Has a hole this time across the 30. Bruins have him, but not before he gets a first down out to the 33, nearly the 34.
I think the team was on that tackle.
I think so. That was a gang tackle. But good yardage and a first down. That'll move the chains. First down out to the 34-yard line. They picked up 16 yards in 2 plays. Greathouse looks to the sidelines. Has Scott behind him. Now the officials are going to stop things. And let's see. Equipment problem for the Bruins. They're going to straighten somebody's shirt out. Apparently his shoulder pad.
Yeah, Brooks Walton. Maybe it's fixed him up. Yeah, they got another guy too. Number.
They're doing all kinds of
32
alterations on the field. The handoff to Scott, tries to wiggle outside, finds a little bit of room, reaches the 40-yard line. So he's going to pick up 6 yards on the play. Chris Lang, along with his buddies, finally right down. They're going to give him the 41. So a gain of 7, be second down and 3.
I'll say this, Jay, Sand Springs hasn't given up.
Yeah. Mainly running the football. We've seen one pass so far. Second down and 3 at the 41. Just underway here in the half. Bruins leading at 43-14. This time option right, back to Scott. He's corralled, he stumbles, he bumbles, and he's going to be knocked down back at the 35-yard line for a loss. Good pursuit by that Bruin defense on that option play right.
He
never could turn the corner.
Never could turn the corner, but he certainly gave one gentleman the leg.
Yep.
Please reset the play clock to 25 seconds.
That is. Now the play clock is reset. Now we're ready. Third down and 4. Great House. Hands it off to Scott. He's got a hole. He's got the first down. They're going to have to tackle him. He's at the 40, the 35, the 30, and finally run out of bounds at about the 24-yard line. Scott was knocked out of bounds by Hayden Henry.
As soon as he got in the secondary, he was off to the races.
A flag on the sidelines too, so they may be look like bounds, but he let go of him.
Yeah.
But the flag came in at the 24-yard line. I mean, there's not a lot of room on the sideline.
Personal foul, late hit, defense. Half the distance to the goal, first down.
Well, the Bruin fans don't really appreciate that one, but anyway, it's not coming back. They're going to mark it off. Down to about the 12-yard line. So first down for the Sandites. Great House, the quarterback, has gone the whole way. They look to the sideline. Scott is his running back. 3 men split wide to the left, 1 to the right. I'll look for Scott here again. He's going to pass left. It's going to be caught, dropped. Looked like he had it for a moment and dropped it at about the 15-yard line. He was looking for Casey Bales.
Number 11, Caleb Wash. Correction, incomplete. Second.
So that'll go second down and 10 now from the 12-yard line. First possession of the second half. Great House looks to the sidelines, now goes up, barks it out to his offensive line. Has the snap, hands it off to Scott. He's got a little bit of a hole down inside the 10 to about the 9. Looked like he had a hole there, but it collapsed in a hurry. He got 2 or 3 on the play. Give him 3.
Wesley Wise and Isaiah Woods were on the tackle there, I believe, Jay.
3rd and 7 from the 9.
3rd and about 6.
So we'll see what they do on third down here. Inside the 10-yard line. Great House, quick pass over the middle, in and out of the hands of actually 2 receivers. Went off one of them's hands. Then the other couldn't corral it. He was looking for Caleb Wash.
Pass is incomplete.
The first time, went off his hands. Then it went off Bryson Denton's hands. So now it's 4th down. 4th down from the 9-yard line. Have to get down to about the 2 for a first down. Big play here early in the second half. Great House. Shotgun with Scott off to his left. He's going to pass, looks left, throws it over the middle. It's going to be broken up, incomplete at the goal line. The Bruins hold. They'll take over. Good job that time by Hayden Henry. He converged on the receiver at about the time of contact.
Yes, that was an excellent play on the Bruins' part.
Knocked it away, and the Bruins will take over. So they've turned the back, and the Bruins will take over with 8:59 to go in the third, leading at 43-14. They'll take over possession at their own 9-yard line. 2 receivers split wide to the right, 2 to the left. Make it 3 to the left, and that's the short side of the field. Watkins is the quarterback, and now he started up the middle, but then whistles blew, and there's a flag, and this is going to be, I think, offsides on the defense.
Defense, 5-yard penalty from the previous spot, still first down.
That'll move it out to the 14. So they picked up 5 without having to do anything there. Went from the 9 to the 14.
It's not bad.
First down and 5. I like those 1st and 5.
Yeah, I'll take that. I'll take that any day.
Here's a quick handoff to Watkins, trying to get outside at 15 to the 20. He's going to get out to the 25, still fighting for yardage as he bowls over a player down to the 26-yard line.
He's brought down by number 6, Cody
That's a first down.
Cody Moats.
You know, if he doesn't get injured this year, Jay, he's going to have an outstanding year. He just
First and 10 Bruins.
Out to the 27. First down for the Bruins. Watkins still in there at running back. He gets the call, goes left this time, makes a man miss, picks up more yardage across the 30 out to the 35, the 36-yard line. He's going to be about a yard shy of a first down, but he picked up 9 more. Tell you what, you give him a little bit of a seam there, and you're not going to catch it.
No.
Second and 1 from the 36. Here's a shovel pass up the middle, out to about the 38, the 39-yard line. It's enough for a first down. Trey Johnson took that little shovel pass coming across the middle. And that'll move the chains. Gave him the 38-yard line. So the Bruins have moved from their 9 out to the 38. 8:15 to go here in the third quarter. Hatcher, another little shovel pass coming to the right this time at the 40, the 45 out to the 48-yard line.
Cameron Brand on the shuttle pass there.
Yep. Bland moving in motion, just takes the little pass out to the 48.
Makes his way to the 48-yard line.
That's another first down for the Bruins. And they're chewing up this clock too.
Just keep it.
8 minutes to go and a few things down.
Tell you what, Allen's he's a load to take on, 6'1", 285.
Yeah.
That's he's doing an outstanding job. Tackled.
I think the player that was involved with him ran off the field quickly. Thought it was number 50, Nathan Simonton, but as soon as the whistles blew and the flash came out, he headed to the sideline. He's over there talking.
Placement surgeries, orthosurgeons, on the web at orthosurgeons.com.
Well, back at Pulaski Academy is there. I can see Madison Taylor, defensive line coach, is out trying to get an explanation. Coach Kevin Kelly was trying to get an explanation too. Like you, Brooks, you said that's kind of harsh, and that, you know, yeah, they got tangled up.
Yeah.
And there was some scuffling going on, but
Jay,
let's go down and see what Rick. Did you see what's going on down there?
yeah, basically in finding out what was going on, the you know, number 50 from Sand Springs and Amuamua, you know, they were getting into it, but they kept trying to, you know, as it was a defensive tactic, trying to get up into the face mask of Amuamua, and that's what ended up sparking everything.
Gotcha. Yep. A little bit a little harsh there to kick these guys out, but, you know, that's what happened. It's going to be 3rd down and 3 for the Bruins at the 45-yard line. Direct snap to Watkins, and he's got the first down inside the 40 to about the 37-yard line. So that'll move the chains.
Handoff goes to number 29, Jaron Watkins.
So the Bruins will be playing without Alan Amuamua. And Sand Springs will be playing without number 50, Nathan Simonton. First down Bruins at the 37 of Sand Springs. Hatcher takes a snap, looks to pass, has plenty of time, throws to his right, and he's got a comeback for the receiver, came back and grabbed it at the 32. That's Brett Lynch, he's a junior. Going to pick up about 5 on the play.
2nd and 5.
Hatcher threw that one all the way across the field. Lynch came back for it and picked up 5 yards. Had to slide when he made the catch, but positive yardage. Here's a handoff to Watkins. He's got a hole, makes one man miss the 30, 25, and outside the 20, the 15. Tight ropes the sidelines and steps out. They're going to say at the 16-yard line. Cody Moats finally got him off balance enough to knock him out of bounds.
As I say, he just ran out of real estate.
He did. If he'd had 10 more yards over there, nobody would have touched it.
No, nobody would have gotten him.
So first down for the Bruins at the 16-yard line. 7:17 to go in the third quarter. Bruins leading this one 43-14. Hatcher has Watkins beside him. Looks like Watkins is going to take the snap. He does. He's going to run left, try to find a hole. Dives inside at the 10-yard line before he's turned back. So a pickup of 6 right there.
The snap goes to Jaron Watkins.
Tell you what, it's a good thing he's built like a rock because
he
takes some hits during a ball game.
He certainly does. He's solid.
He is solid.
At the 11-yard line.
Pick up a 5. They'll give him the 11. Hatcher hands it off to Watkins, looking for more room. He's inside the 10, down to the 5, and finally brought down at the 4-yard line. And that'll make it 1st and goal.
Watkins again on the
They're going to give him the 3-yard line. Zach Blake finally stopped him. 1st and goal at the 3. Clock moving, 6.5 minutes to go in the 3rd. Bruins trying to tack on some more. Hatcher gives it to Watkins. Not much room there. He stood up and he got back to the line of scrimmage, and that's about it. Chris Edwards was the first Sandite there. When I think of Sandites, I think of Dardanelle, the Sand Lizards.
Sand Lizards.
We've got the Sand Lizards. They have the
Sandites. Yeah.
Right at the line of scrimmage, 2nd and goal.
Well, 2nd down and goal from the 3.
I think J.R. Anderson came in to give Jaron a little rest.
Hatcher's going to pitch it out to the right, incomplete. Looking for a receiver at about the 5-yard line. He was looking for Brett Lynch. Brett couldn't hold on. So that'll bring it back to the 3-yard line.
Lynch is incomplete, 3rd and goal.
It'll be 3rd down this time from the 3. Hatcher looks to the sidelines. Doesn't look like he has a running back in there with him this time. R.J. Anderson, I think he's going to be, they're going to put him out in the slot. Hatcher takes the snap, rushes on, has to get rid of it. Is this ball caught? What a play. Oh, Hatcher had to zip it in there.
Hurry on that
one. Get hit. And he zipped it. I don't know how he got it around the defender.
I don't either.
Sliding catch in the end zone by Trey Johnson. Hayden Kramer was putting the pressure on
He
him.
was putting the heat on him, wasn't he?
Touchdown Bruins. That's another one for Johnson. Well, it's 49-14.
Hatcher prepares for the point after kick. Ethan Glasgow to hold.
Ethan Glasgow, the holder. And there comes Sand Springs across the line. We see this all year long as the Bruins do a shift.
Encroachment, defense, half the distance to the goal, replay the try.
Coach Kelly may just want to go ahead and kick it here. Let's see. Most of the time they'll go for 2 after the penalty. Moves it a little closer to the goal line, but they're going to just kick it. Ethan Glasgow, the holder. Hatcher on to kick it. Snap is picked up. The kick is up, and the kick is good. We'll take a break. 5:48 to go in the 3rd. Our score now, Pulaski Academy 50. Sand Springs Page 14. Listening to Bruin football on 96.5 FM, The Answer.
Life isn't about the time we're given, but how we choose to spend it or live it. Consider the Palisades at Chenal Valley in the heart of Chenal. New stainless steel appliances, garden tubs, and screened-in porches. Minutes from signature shopping. Or Ridge at Chenal Valley. 9-foot ceilings, granite countertops, spectacular mountain views. Just minutes.
Coming back.
In West Little Rock. The Palisades at Chenal Valley and Ridge at Chenal Valley. Contact the leasing office.
Nearly a look what I found.
He was laying on the ground.
Yeah.
That'd been something if he'd intercepted that one.
2nd down and 10. The ball's at the 29-yard line. Good crowd on hand across the way. 11. It's enough for a 1st down. Greathouse takes a snap, gives it to the running back, and he's met at the line of scrimmage. For a minute, looked like a fumble, but only gets a yard or so. That was Dalton Morgan on the carry again. Going to give him a couple, be 2nd down and 8.
Number 20, Brooks Walton at the 43-yard line, 2nd and 8.
Morgan, the running back. We're at 2 minutes to go now in the 3rd quarter. Clock running. Greathouse back to pass. Sets up a screen to Morgan at the 40, the 45, out to the 47-yard line.
77, 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. Still 3rd down.
It'll back them up to about the 39-yard line.
Thomas Wheelis on the stop there.
That'll make it 3rd down and 12.
3rd and 12.
1 minute to go now in the 3rd quarter as the sportsmanship rule is in effect. Bruins leading at 50-14. Greathouse has the ball, looks to pass, rushes on. He's hit, gets it away, and now a flag comes in. It's incomplete. At about midfield, he was hit, and a flag came in too. Let's see what this one is.
Broken up by Hayden Henry. There's a penalty flag on the play.
Getting a little sloppy in it.
Holding again. Yep. They're going to decline it, I think. I think Coach Kelly's going to decline this one. It was incomplete, and that'll bring up 4th down.
Yeah.
Holding. Offense. Penalty's been declined. It'll be 4th down.
4th down and 12 at the 39-yard line. 38 seconds to go in the 3rd quarter. Bruins leading at 50-14. They got 17 on the play clock, and they haven't broke the huddle yet. Down to 12, 11, 10. They hurry to the line of scrimmage. Down to 8. Greathouse sets up. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. He gets it off in time. Greathouse back to pass, throws it, and it's going to be complete for a 1st down. Down to the Bruin 47-yard line. Need to get to the 49. He got down to the 47, so that'll move the chains. 6 seconds to go in the 3rd quarter.
Number 34, Blake Titus, at the 47-yard line. 1st and 10, Sandites.
Trying to hurry it up. 5 on the clock. 4, 3, 2, 1. That's going to be the end of the 3rd quarter.
That's going to be in the 3rd quarter.
That's going to do it for the 3rd quarter. So we're 3 quarters of the way complete. Bruins looking for their 28th in a row. So far, so good. As we end 3 quarters with our score, Pulaski Academy 50, Sand Springs, Oklahoma 14. You're listening to Bruin Football on 96.5 FM, The Answer.
Central Arkansas Urgent Care is proud to support the Pulaski Academy Bruins. No one can anticipate when urgent help.
Hey, Jay.
Yeah.
Whenever you get a chance, can you do legal ID?
Yep, sure will.
And convenient. There's no need to make an appointment. Just walk into our clinic. We accept most major insurance plans and give discounts to cash-paying customers. As a walk-in clinic, we can immediately treat sudden onset or last-minute medical needs. Central Arkansas Urgent Care is open 7 days a week, Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 8 p.m., Saturday and Sunday, 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. Come to Central Arkansas Urgent Care and feel better faster.
Hey, it's Hunter Bell from Bell Chevrolet. It's that time of year. The kids are back in school, and believe it or not, the holidays are just around the corner, which is why we're postponing your payments until 2017.
All right, coming back.
Pick out any new or pre-owned vehicle in stock, and you won't make a payment until January of next year. It's a great way to save money for the upcoming holiday season, and it's available at Bell Chevrolet. Bell Chevrolet, find new roads.
Back at Pulaski Academy, long pass by Hunter Greathouse was tipped away incomplete. Bring up 2nd down and 10 from the 47-yard line.
Dylan made an excellent play on that.
Knocked it away. Let's pause 10 seconds for station identification. This is Pulaski Academy Bruin Football.
Breaking news, stimulating talk. 96.5 FM, The Answer. KHT FM, England, Little Rock. A service of Salem Media Group on the NASDAQ at SALM.
2nd down and 12, or 2nd down and 10. There's a handoff up the middle. Not much yardage there. Looked like a rugby scrum. Down to the 44. There's some more pushing and shoving going on. And the crowd's getting a little bit rowdy here for a 50-14 game.
Right.
Let's see.
I think we'll.
Yeah, he wants a timeout. Coach Kelly wants to talk to a couple of players. Apparently there's a lot of extracurricular activity going on out there after the play is over, and the crowd from PA is yelling every play it's happening.
Yeah, Coach Kelly's giving them all the defense for what for.
Yeah. It's going to be a 3rd down and 7 from the Bruin 44. Well, PA crowd's fired up. I'm sure the officials can hear them because we can hear them up here.
All right. I think he did a wholesale substitution. The second team's in there to let the first teamers cool off a little bit.
I think so. Third down and 7 from the 44. Need to get that guy on radio. He's got some good lungs.
He certainly does.
Greathouse back to pass. He throws downfield. He's got a receiver, and it's going to be over his head and incomplete about the 10-yard line.
Flag on the play.
Oh, boy.
A little interference on PA's part, I believe, Jay.
About the 22. Well, first game of the season, these officials aren't ready to go home yet. They want to stay out here for a little while.
They want to work their way into shape.
Yeah, that's right. You know.
On the defense.
Holding
on the defense.
10-yard penalty from the previous spot. First down.
Sand Springs crowd was yelling for that one, and once they started yelling, the yellow flag came out. Moves it down to the 34. First down for the Sandites. 10:41 to play. Even though we're under the sportsmanship rule, these officials hold it up with the flag, so we have to wait on that. Here's a handoff to Scott. Moves to his left out to the 30, the 25, the 20, the 15, down to the 10. They'll mark him out of bounds inside the 10 to 7-yard line. Well, Coach Wood's not going to be too happy about this second defense all of a sudden allowing them to go right down the field.
No, that's true. But
Halpin knocked him out of bounds. Clock running with 10 minutes to go in this one. Bruins safely ahead at 50-14.
First and goal, Sandites.
I think Coach Kelly just wanted the first team defense kind of cool their jets a minute.
So. Greathouse at quarterback, hands it off to Scott again. Makes a man miss, gets inside the 5, pushing all the way to the end zone.
Another flag.
And a flag comes in. It's a touchdown, but we'll wait and see what the flag is.
He's in the end zone, but there's a penalty flag on the play.
I'll see what they're going to call this time. Looks like it's going to be against Sand Springs this time. Wow.
Personal foul, face mask, Pulaski
No, it's
Academy.
against Pulaski Academy.
It'll be on the ensuing kick.
Okay. Well, touchdown is
so we got a touchdown.
Good. Makes it 50-20.
Touchdown, Sandites.
Officiating crew, referee Scott Williams, and then you've got umpire Bryant Starks, head linesman Michael Jones, line judge Chris Little, field judge J.T. Christopher, and side judge Donnie Rebman.
Bales prepares for the point after kick. Greathouse to hold.
Ready for the extra point. Kick is up, and the kick is good. 9:46 to go in this one.
The point after kick is good.
We'll keep it right here. Bruins leading at 50-21.
21.
We'll remind you to let your inner geek out with Shane Plays. Saturdays at 1. That's tomorrow. On 96.5 FM, The Answer. And then Mark Raymer delves deep into politics. Saturdays at 2. You don't want to miss those guys back to back. Tonight, stay tuned for Dennis Prager immediately following the game on 96.5 FM, The Answer. I want to thank all of our sponsors tonight. Of course, Scoring Drives brought to you by Bale Chevrolet. Also want to mention Central Arkansas Urgent Care. Halftime by Capital Business Machines, the James Law Firm, defensive play of the half. We want to find out, we've had several in the first half and the second half. And we'll be naming an ortho-surgeon's player of the game after this is over. It's always hard in a Pulaski Academy game to name a player of the game because you have so many that.
Of course, you've got, Lane Hatcher throwing the passes, but you got Trey Johnson catching them, so that's 4 touchdowns for him tonight, I believe.
Yeah, I'm going to have to go ahead and tell you, my vote's going to go for Trey Johnson. I know what Lane Hatcher can do, and he's going to be doing it all year long, hopefully. Trey Johnson had a heck of a night tonight.
He certainly did.
This kickoff will come from the 45, and it's an onside kick, and PA fields it at about the 33-yard line. They see that in practice every day.
You're right. That was number 17. Zach David.
Senior linebacker.
You know, before the game started, Jay, we talked about guys that were going to need to step up for fill some holes from last year, and I think so far they have.
Yep.
I think Coach Kelly's just reloaded this year and carried on the tradition so far.
Amazing how it happens. It really is. I've watched it year in and year out. Clock running now. Bruins set up first down at the 33-yard line. There's a handoff up the middle.
Trey Adams.
Yep, that's Trey. Trey Adams, a senior. 5'8", 210.
He's brought down.
I'd hate to hit him about chest high.
Yep.
5-yard gain on the play, 2nd and 5.
Yeah, Trey can carry his weight through
He
there.
certainly can.
Wesley Wise is the quarterback.
Wesley.
He's a junior, 6'1", 210. Hands it off to Trey again. Trey trying to find some more room and just barrels over the 40-yard line out to the 41. That'll be a couple of yards shy of a first down, bring down 3rd and a couple. 8:20 to go.
Along with number 44, Gage Fain.
Bruins
3rd and 2.
really had a safe halftime lead in this one. They lead now 50-21 here in the 4th quarter. Wise, the quarterback. Here's Adams in motion. He's going to pitch it out to the left, though. Caught at the 40, the 45, the 50. Down to the 45-yard line. Got that one to
Corey McMillan.
Corey McMillan.
He's wrapped up by number 12, Tracy Toller.
Say, Jacory's he's gonna help this team this year. He really is. Well, you could see that last year.
At the 46
First down to the 46 of Sand Springs. Adams off the left of Wise. Wise. And we'll give it a little reverse down to the 40, the 35-yard line that time.
Is that Ray Jackson?
That's Ray Jackson. Jackson gets a first down, moves the chains.
You know, they've wholesale substitution for offense, but I hadn't seen a whole lot of.
Yeah, they're still
doing
moving.
good.
Yeah.
They're doing
They're
excellent
still moving
for the second team.
He stopped at the 35-yard line.
Wise has Adams back there with him. On first down, hands it to Big Trey, and he gets inside the 35 to the 33. Finally pushed back as he gets a couple.
We'll have to nickname him Mr. Bulldozer.
Yeah.
Including number 55.
That'll bring up second down and 8.
Just inside
6:40 to go in this one. Bruins trying to polish it off, leading at 50-21. Season opener. R.J. Anderson checks in now at running back. Wise at quarterback. Wise to Anderson, takes the handoff, dances outside the 30, the 25, down to the 20. What a move. He stepped inside one defender and dove down to about the 17-yard line. That'll move the chains again.
He's really, that was an
He's got some-
outstanding run.
He's got some moves.
Yeah, he's shifty.
Number 25, Chris Edwards, after making his way to the
RJ's a
17-yard
junior,
line.
running back.
1st and 10 Bruins.
Trey Adams back in the game. Wise at quarterback. Adams goes outside, dives inside the 15, down to the 13-yard line. He'll pick up 4.
Well, you know, he showed some moves on that play. Came out
he
the line
cut
of scrimmage
back,
and jumped out to the outside. That was
Yep.
good footwork.
5 minutes and 30 seconds to go. Night's through for Lane Hatcher, and another good night for him.
And 5.
Wise at quarterback. Adams the running back. Here's a little reverse
Razzle
play.
dazzle.
Yep, down to the 10, down to the 9-yard line. That Jackson again. We'll see when he gets up. Well, it's hard to tell.
Jacory McMillan. carries
McMillan.
the play.
Jacory McMillan.
He's brought down by number 44, Gage Fain.
Got down to the 10-yard line.
He
Be
makes
third
way
down
10-yard
and
line,
a couple.
And a long 2.
Had to get down inside the 8 for a first down. Looks like Trey's going to take this snap himself. Wise is in motion. Trey's going to keep it. He's got some room. He's at the 5.
I believe
he's going to score. Let's see. Touchdown.
Touchdown.
So Trey Adams takes the snap. Rumbles in for the touchdown. With 4:26 to go. Bruins leading at 56-21. Hatcher will come out for the extra point. Glasgow to hold. And Sand Springs comes across the line again. Yeah, it must be a lot tougher than it looks because you see it all season long, and teams know it's coming.
Yeah, I mean, I don't understand that, but.
Who was it last year that finally just.
Offense.
Was it McClellan?
Spot. Replay the try.
May have been. You remember that Vicky one team last year finally just stood there. They didn't even come across. And, well, the best way to play that.
Yeah.
There's a snap, and the kick is up, and the kick is, nope, he missed it to the left.
Disappointed Lane.
Well, the clock's still running, though. We're down to 4 minutes. 56-21. Bruins leading it by 35 over Sand Springs, Oklahoma. Next week, it's off to East High School in Salt Lake City, Utah.
Salt Lake City, Utah.
Yep. We'll have that game for you, too.
You know, Rick mentioned the altitude. I don't know how it's going to affect me.
I don't know.
I know one time I went to Pikes Peak, and oh, goodness, I didn't make me sick.
Yeah, I don't want to tell you my Pikes Peak story. I'm not going to get into that.
Jay.
Yeah, Rick, you down there?
I am down here. You know, the altitude is definitely going to have an impact upon me too, Brooks. I gotta say.
Yeah.
You got to make sure. You know what you got to make sure you don't do? You don't get a headache. That's probably one of the things that I'm more concerned about with the boys than anything. Because you get your bell rung, your head's going to hurt a little bit more. It could have an impact not only on your wind but on your head.
He's supposed to drink lots of water. I understand.
Here's a high kickoff. It's going to be fielded at the 10-yard line. Now dropped and picked up again at the 15, down to about I guess about the 18, maybe the 19-yard line. Clock running, though, 2:45 to go.
Number 1, Matt Thompson on the kickoff return. He stopped by number 11.
Zach David and Will Hart on the play. Across the 19-yard line. That's where Sand Springs, the Sandites, will start probably their final possession. Clock running, 2:25 to go now. Bruins leading at 56-21. This will be 28 in a row for the Bruins.
Still got their first team in, looks like, except for.
Yeah, maybe a new running back.
Yeah, new running back.
Greathouse is still at quarterback. Going to hand it off to their running back up to about the 20-yard line. That's it. Not a lot of urgency right now with 1:57 to go.
Goes to number 7.
That's Garrett McCallie. He's a sophomore. They're getting him in at running back.
Number 31, Hunter Nay.
Yeah, first game of the season, you're down 56-21. Now's a chance to get some guys a little bit of playing time.
Mm-hmm.
Get your starters out of there, but Greathouse is still in at quarterback. He's going to hand it off to his running back and show some speed outside the 30, the 35. Still on his feet. Finally brought down about the 38-yard line. Ben Nordy, running back, a junior.
He's brought down by number 16, Tyler Trowbridge.
Tyler Trowbridge, junior, on the tackle. They're going to mark him out at the 38, and that's a first down. 1 minute to go in this one. Bruins leading at 56-21. Greathouse has gone the whole way. He's their senior quarterback, 6'3", 180. Ended off the running back. It's back to the line of scrimmage, gets spun around and stopped right there. Hit quickly by, let's see, the running back was Garrett McCallie. Got a few different guys in there right now.
Mm-hmm.
Picked up a yard on the play, second down and 9, and we're down to 30 seconds.
Calling carries on the play. He stopped by number
Good opener for the Bruins.
at the 49-yard line.
Win at
second
home.
and 9.
We'll be back at home until the 30th. So handoff up the middle, the 40, the 45, up to the 50. Garrett McCallie, sophomore. And that's going to do it. 5-4-3. Mark Odom
He stopped by number
on a tackle. That'll do it.
Well, I think we can chalk it up, Jay.
That's it. As a buzzer sounds.
with the final score.
Second defense comes off. They're congratulated by the first defense.
21.
And a successful start to the 2016 season for Pulaski Academy. Our final in this one, Bruins win it 56-21 over Sand Springs Page.
In Salt Lake City, Utah.
Next up, Salt Lake City. Well,
yeah,
one thing about it, Coach Kelly and his staff, they don't dodge anything, you know.
No.
They'll take on whomever, wherever. Went to Los Angeles a few years ago, Orlando, Florida. Play a game, of course, Dallas a couple of years in a row. But this one tonight against Sand Springs, Oklahoma, the Bruins win it 56-21. Be back to talk a little more about it after this. You're listening to Bruin Football on 96.5 FM, The Answer.
I'm Anthony Lucas for Orthosurgeons. As a former Arkansas Razorback and Dallas Cowboy football player, I know what sports can do to the body, especially as the years pass.